Hello, Bobby Torres of Frightbox Recording here. So the question is this: should you go through the trouble of double tracking your guitars when you can simply just copy and paste the same performance to another track and hard pan the two tracks? You're gonna find out the answer to this question once and for all with evidence within this video. Let's dive into it. Okay, so just recently on one of my production videos, I had a viewer make this comment. Mr. Jack Barron says, why can't you just use the same recording layered 4 times so you don't have to record the same riff multiple times, unless you're using different rigs for each recording? Now, believe it or not, I get this question all of the time. And actually, a lot of times when people send me their projects to mix, they'll sometimes send guitar tracks that were simply copied and pasted because they don't understand how production works. But with that being said, let's do some experimentation and see if this theory holds up. I mean, if you're recording your guitars multiple times, can't you just copy and paste them? What's the point of going through all this work? Let's find out. All right, so I have a production here with a single guitar track that was recorded well. It's within a production that's well balanced. But again, it's just a single rhythm guitar track panned up the center. Let's take a listen. Okay, not terrible, but as we all know, a single guitar track is generally not enough. Rhythm guitars panned up the middle usually sound like crap, to be honest with you. You can tell the performance is okay, but this sounds nothing like a final album. Having the single guitar up the middle kind of makes it sound more like a home demo. So with that being said, let's actually try what the viewer recommended. Let's just copy this to another track. So I'm doing that right now. I'm gonna simply copy this exact performance over to another track. Okay, I'm gonna call this copyright. And now I'm going to go out of my way and pan the two guitars just as if I recorded 2 guitar performances and panned them out wide. Let's take a listen. Okay, well, the guitars definitely sound louder. Let's listen in solo. So here's the left side. So if you notice, when I popped in the right side, all of a sudden it sounds like the guitars are in mono. Why is this? I mean, it's 2 guitar tracks, right? Well, the answer is actually extremely simple. Because the 2 tracks are exactly the same, they are not going to sound wide. And the reason why pro producers double track guitars is because it makes the riff sound bigger and it makes the mixes sound bigger overall. This is a technique that they've been using in the studio since the beginning of stereo recordings, especially in rock and metal music. So right now, both sides are exactly the same. And that's why the guitars sound like they are in mono. Now, I know some lazy people out there are gonna say, well, why don't you just change the sound on one side to make the guitar sound wide? Let's give that a shot and see if it works. Okay, I have my amp sims here, and I'm just using the Amped Roots by ML Sound Lab. It's a free plugin. It's an excellent plugin. And I'm going to change out the impulse response on the other side. You know what? I'm gonna use an entirely different plugin altogether and see if this helps and makes my guitar sound like they have been double tracked. And we'll see if it helps them sound nice and wide. So I'm just gonna kill this amp sim altogether and pull out another one. So I've decided to go with the STL 5153, and I've got it on the same track. Again, it's the exact same DI on both sides with 2 completely different tones and 2 different amp sims. Let's see if this does the trick and makes the guitars sound like they have been double tracked and like they belong on a pro record. Okay, it helps them sound slightly wider, but again, this does not replace an actual double track, meaning a completely separate performance that was performed an additional time, recorded just as well as the first performance, and panned out wide. Now, luckily, I do have a second performance on hand of all of the same riffs, but again, it's a second performance. The riffs were recorded a second time. They are still well performed, but they are not a simple copy and paste. And let's hear how this sounds in the mix. as you can hear, the guitars automatically sound massive. The mix sounds way wider, and I did not do anything fancy. I simply double tracked the original performance. Now, I know so many of us tend to be lazy and we just want shortcuts, and I have news for you. If pro producers are double tracking their guitars, it's for good reason. They are not doing it because they have a ton of time on their hands. Double tracking your guitars is how you get that stereo width, and it's how you achieve that massive hard rock or metal pro level mix. So again, let's do a quick A/B test between the copy and pasted version and the double tracked version, and let's see if we could spot a difference in real time. So as you can hear, this is why we double track our guitars. Now, I do have a bonus tip here for you. Let's say you're working on a mix of a band that was recorded live, for example, and there's only one guitar track. Are you in trouble? Well, yeah, it'll never sound as good as a double track, but I actually have a trick to help widen a single guitar performance or mono source. All you have to do is copy and paste your guitar just like it did in the first example and delay the second track by around 15 to 20 milliseconds. So I'm gonna do that right now. Now, this is not delay like a delay effect. I'm literally pulling back the second guitar performance back in time by 20 milliseconds. What this is gonna do is this is going to create a hole in the middle for the vocal, bass guitar, and snare drum. And it's sort of like a fake double track. So as you can see, it definitely helps to make a single guitar performance sound wider and bigger, but it is no replacement for an actual double track. So if you're looking to produce pro level results in your home studio, do not be lazy, double track your guitars, take the time to make sure that all of your performances are nice and tight, and you will end up with a pro level guitar mix. If you're doing everything else correctly. Now, on the topic of this, we have to remember that so much goes into producing a pro level mix and production. And the truth is, so many home studio owners skip over crucial steps and wonder why their mixes don't sound professional. Now, I don't want this for you. I want you to produce pro level results with the gear that you're already using. And because of this, I've put together a free guide called my Polished Production Checklist. This checklist was designed to help point you in the right direction and help you focus on the things that actually matter when you sit down to record your music, so that way you don't waste time on things that don't matter, which will distract you and will often lead you down endless rabbit holes that are unnecessary, and again, will often cause you to end up with unprofessional mixes. And I don't want this for you. Learn how to follow all of the crucial steps in a production as a whole simply by following this checklist. Again, the Polished Production Checklist is absolutely free right now, and you could have direct access right now by clicking the link below in this video's description. So I'm curious to know, have you tried to cheat your way to a better production simply by copying and pasting your guitar tracks because you don't want to take the time to double track your guitars? Don't be shy. Let me know by leaving a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you've been up to in your home studio. And also, if you are struggling with your guitar tone and you don't know what to do, I have a video that's going to reveal some things to you that might surprise you when it comes to dialing in a great guitar tone within your mix. And again, that video is right above in the card. If you found this video helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And do not forget to click the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload one of my weekly videos on all things metal and rock production. And until next time, happy mixing.